was good to be on the other end of that at home. But it was a good second half, a lot of energy, and a lot of guys involved and contributed in that second half. And obviously CB was in a great rhythm, not only for his own offense, but he was basically our playmaker, getting us to second situations. And it was good to see our bench come in and give us a lift.
Erik, besides the fact your point guards made shots, what else encouraged you about their work tonight?
Well, they set the tone for us defensively, particularly in that second half, really getting into the ball, getting over screens, fighting over screens, and then making the right decisions down to the other end, keeping the game pretty simple. But getting into the paint, making plays, making easy plays, not necessarily having to force the action or make spectacular plays. There was either a layup for them, which didn't happen much in the second half, or throw it back to CB, or throw a lob to Bird and keep it pretty simple in those decisions. And they were great in the second half.
Erik, what's it? I mean, you're missing a bunch of guys again. You're down big early. Everyone knows the struggles at home. What's it kind of say about the continued character to not let anything?
Well, this is a good
phase?
group, and we're used to it now. I mean, I think the most important thing, I mentioned it yesterday in practice, is don't feel sorry for yourselves. Don't make excuses, and just work to get better and do it together. Things change very quickly in this league. We are building some habits, but we still have a long way to go, and our guys understand it. But yesterday was a good step. It was a very good day of work, of concentrated work, everybody doing it together, to try to get a better result.
Erik, it might not have been exactly the way you would have wanted or planned, but the production you got at center between Whiteside and Anderson seemed like enough.
It's important, and I've talked about it to both of them separately, but also in front of the team. It's 48 minutes of center basketball. That means we have to go a little bit deeper and play UD or even Ham. We have full trust in all of them, and it'll be different guys, different nights. Sometimes it's Hassan. Hassan played much better in the third quarter. I think once he got his rhythm, he hadn't played or done anything. Any physical activity in a few days, but in the fourth quarter, Bird was giving us great minutes, and they're both supporting each other, and they're both emotionally stable enough now to understand that it's a collective position of productivity that we need, and it's different guys on different nights sometimes.
Is Dwayne Wade traveling with you guys for the Cleveland game?
Not planning on it, no. He's been putting in a good deal of work, but we'll evaluate tomorrow. We'll evaluate tomorrow. He put in a lot of work today. He put in about 3 hours. We'll see.
Coach, looking past Wednesday at Cleveland, how important is this break, especially with it being an extra long break for this team?
After Cleveland? Yeah, I mean, I'm not even thinking about that yet. But our guys are starting to get healthy.
Erik, with Chris, was this just a matter of hitting a few shots and getting going? I mean, I think he started, I believe, 1 for 6, and then he got on a roll there.
Yeah, but you could see his activity. He was really active defensively, even though it wouldn't necessarily show with the 2 rebounds. But I can already assume that on our defensive activity chart that he scored very high. He was doing a lot of things and communicating a lot of different actions defensively. And then offensively, we ran a lot of actions through him, and he was a decision maker. So he wasn't even hunting for his own shot. It just happened within the flow. A lot of times he was just getting us into situations.
When you're dealing with when to play Hassan with foul trouble, is there math you're doing in your head, or is it feel, or is the game dictate?
I'll play him with 2 in the first half. Yeah, and I think it's important for him to have to go through that. I mean, if he gets his 3rd, I'm not going to play through it. If he gets 2 quick ones, I'm not going to let him play through that in the first quarter. There's not a perfect formula to it, but I think he'll get a better feel for it. And the more experience he has playing with 2, I think will be better for him. And I have no problem. It's important for him to have to go through that process, learning how to play with 2 fouls in the second quarter. Okay, thank you.